Welcome back for more Santa Lucia, everybody. This is or Far Far. I'm okay with either of those. Welcome back for more Santa Lucia. So last time, Sam and I forgot the other guy's name. How did I forget the other guy's name? Because he's like literally there, but like, dang it. Well, I'll figure it out later. Okay. But no, they get blown the fuck out because Ben stood up for Russell, and then Russell just blew them the fuck out. They're just like, yeah, sorry, not gonna waste my time with toxic people that don't believe me. And then just walks off, which is good. I love that. We love it. And then I think last time we left off, we were taking Chris to San Francisco, I think, for the sake of stopping at a repair store. All right, so that's where we left off. Let's continue. It's been a good bit. I'm excited to get back into it. Let's go. Yes, I did do a recording like a little while ago, but like that didn't work out so well. In part because I couldn't really swear very loudly. Let's just put it that way, because I had people around, so it was kind of weird. So let's continue. Spoiler alert: there's gonna be some swearing in this. About an hour and a half into our drive, we're able to see the distinct skyline of San Francisco come into view. Damn! Made good time even with all the traffic. When's that computer shop supposed to be open, Chris? Not until 11 or so. I glance at the clock on Russell's dashboard radio. It's a little after 9:30. Looks like we got some time to sightsee, boys. You down for that? Like I said, I didn't get the chance to see much after the flight. If you got time, I don't see the harm. Perfect! I know just the place to start, too. San Francisco is like my second home. I know all the little navigation tricks to make shit bearable. So you drive out here often? Figured I'd have people to do that for you. Kid, the worst thing you can do with your life is to outsource basic life skills to others. Every now and then it's fine, but if you're never doing things yourself, you're never gonna learn how to stand on your own 2 feet. Know what I'm saying? I guess that makes sense, yeah. Way to make me feel self-conscious about not having a driver's license yet. Kind of hard to work up the nerve to get one after what happened to my sister. He's got a point, though. I shouldn't rely on others for things I should know how to do for myself. To be honest, I'm not seeing a whole lot here you can't get in Santa Lucia. Or Chicago, for that matter. Wow, spoken like a real stick in the mud. Aren't you intrigued by the history of this place? The line waves towards the bay to our right as we get a good glimpse of it driving by. How many cities in the world have this kind of view? Well, technically Chicago is on a lake, so... if I may interject... Chris looks over his shoulder at me from the passenger seat. What I think Russell means is that you're focusing too much on, practicality? Life in big cities is more about atmosphere and proximity to a diverse set of people. I knew that. I guess I just never saw the appeal of these places. I'm from a mountain town, Colorado. There's a lot of space out there. When I'm in big cities like Chicago, I feel claustrophobic, I guess. I don't know if that makes sense or not. Yeah, I get ya. My counterpoint, though, is to never shut yourself out from new experiences. A city guy like myself could say something similar where you're from, kid. I like having people nearby. I don't know if I'm agoraphobic, but the idea of being isolated from people really freaks me out. I can see your point, too. Guess this is what they mean by broadening your horizons. Exactly. Now you're getting it. We laugh together as the conversation shifts to more mundane topics. Takes about half an hour for Russell to cross the city. Had a feeling he was taking me to this place in particular. They pull into a park overlooking the Golden Gate Bridge. I always love coming here. There you have it. Doesn't get more iconic than this. Without saying another word, Chris takes out his phone and starts snapping pictures of the site. Wow, no kidding. That little bit of fog just accentuates the whole aesthetic. Oh, complicated language there. You sure you're not an art major? Are you forgetting I'm a journalism student? Oh, that's right. Journalists do tend to use fancy words like that to make themselves sound smart. Hey! I nudge the lion on the shoulder while continuing to take in the sights. Chris is separated from us and is off taking pictures of the bridge from a variety of angles. Man, I wish Zach would have been here today. I'm sure you'll have plenty of opportunities to hang out in the future. Yeah, you're right. We stick around for another 10 minutes before jumping back in the car for the next destination. Russell really crushes on Zach, doesn't he? Kinda makes me wonder how that whole thing would work if they actually got together. Oh, the traffic is murder today. Russell slowly makes his way into the heart of the city. And when I say slowly, I mean slowly. The traffic jam out here reminds me of the ones in Chicago. I think I see Chinatown up there. We should check it out. Chinatown? Of course we are, genius. That's where I was already heading. Oh, sorry. The Aussie's ears seem to flatten further against his head. No, I should be the one to say sorry. Traffic really frustrates me. It's always that one fucking asshole who takes his time when the light turns green, you know? Don't worry, I understand. Thanks, man. Wait, so there's a whole district of San Francisco named Chinatown? Yeah, you don't know? That sounds a bit, culturally insensitive. Kid, things are only as offensive as you make them out to be in your head. Check it out before you start judging things with your preconceived notions. We turn onto another street that has a distinct pagoda-looking archway at the beginning. Huh, didn't expect to see that. Guess they really went all out with the theming. All up and down the road, the buildings take on an Eastern flavor, or at least the fronts do. As the buildings rise up from the street, they look more and more like standard city fare. I'm also impressed by how all the signs seem to be primarily in Chinese. So is this just a little pocket of Chinese culture in the middle of the big city? Something like that, yeah. Chinatown has a lot of history, Ben. Back in the mid-1800s, I waved my hands in front of me frantically. No need for the history lesson, Chris. Sorry. You guys want to check it out on foot? Sure, I wouldn't mind. If we do, I'm gonna take some more pictures. Russell looks over at Chris with a teasing smirk. Tell me again, why didn't you choose photography as your field of study? It's just a hobby, really. If you say so, man. Russell spends the next 15 minutes circling around the block trying to find a place to park. Are you fucking kidding me? Why is it so hard to find a goddamn parking spot in this town? Russell, watch your language. Chris motioned towards me in the back seat. I'm not a kid, Chris. I know bad words, too. The fucking bitch! Russell slams his fist down on the dashboard. Did you see that? She fucking sniped that fucking spot right there in front of me. Russell, chill out. I think I've seen enough from the car anyway. Why don't we move on to another destination? I guess. Would have liked to have shown you around, though. I shrugged my shoulders. We can do that another time, don't worry. Alright, if you say so. Less stress for me. The mood slowly improved as we leave the vicinity of Chinatown. Russell's not wrong. The traffic today is really intense. I really don't have the heart to tell him I'm not much of a sightseeing guy. We drive along the waterfront for a few miles. The guys told me about this pier that was converted into an outdoor mall down here. It also has a nice view of the former prison island of Alcatraz in the middle of the bay. Truth be told, I'm more into the shopping prospects, but I'll admit the view is quite nice from the street. Russell swerves the car out of nowhere and pulls right into a parking spot. A cavalcade of honks echoes from beside us. He rolls down the window and shoots down a rude gesture with his hands. Sorry, but we're more important. Looks like Russell cut off someone from parking here. I can see in the back window a whole family staring daggers at us. Oh, jeez, how embarrassing. Was that really necessary, Russell? The lion shrugs his shoulders and smiles at us, clearly proud of what he did. They'll get over it. Besides, I got us a parking spot this time. That's good enough in my book. Everyone's looking at us now. Yeah, let the gawkers gawk for all I care. Come on, let's get going. Russell gets out of the car and starts walking towards the pier. Aren't you gonna lock your car? Chris and I hastily follow behind him. Whoops. Already got that covered. He holds up a small device on his key ring and presses a small button. The car beeps twice and we hear the sound of doors locking. Oh, didn't expect your car to have that functionality. It's a pile of junk, but it's my pile of junk. Nothing stops me from getting that functionality added in later, either. You paid for something like that? I have money, Chris. In the end, I just like the aesthetic. Really fits the whole grunge thing I've got going, don't you think? You do look pretty grunge there, Russell. I suppose. After a few minutes of walking up the street, we merge in with the big crowd heading towards our destination. Pier 39, huh? Figured it would have a fancier name than that. It's surprisingly well laid out for a retrofitted mall, though. I can't wait to see what kinds of shops they've got. It's been about 45 minutes now. These fried Oreos are fucking bomb, right? They are. Didn't expect that. Throwing anything in a fire tastes amazing. But maybe don't overdo it. Gotta be mindful of your health and all. Okay, Dad. You three over there. We all look in unison towards a woman standing next to a booth about 15 feet away, sorry. Tarot cards, palm reading, crystal balls. Would you be interested in hearing your fortune? Russell glances between us to try and gauge our reaction. I don't know. I mean, it's all part of the fun, right? That's right, kid. Russell approaches the teller. Sure, why not? I'll pay for all three of us. Excellent. Come take a seat right over here. She leads Russell to another table behind the booth. Seems she's already got the tarot cards and crystal ball set up. So, where are you boys coming from? I notice you have quite the accent. She points at Chris. Well, I'm from Australia. That's so cool. I've always wanted to visit. Now that I'm getting a closer look at her, she couldn't possibly be any older than 30. I always thought fortune telling was an old people profession. We're actually students at USL. This manages to get her attention. Really? What a small world. I'm a graduate from USL myself. Well, fancy that. I wonder what kind of degree program would result someone ending up as a fortune teller. Alright, are you ready? She turns her attention to Russell. Sure, let's do this. The woman closes her eyes and takes a deep breath. She gestures her hand over the crystal ball, almost as if to rub it, but never makes eye contact with it. Then it happens. She opens her eyes and gazes up at the sky, eyes completely white. Whoa. I'm not gonna lie, that's a pretty cool effect. She really looks like she's in a trance right now. I see many things. I raise an eyebrow when she speaks again. Her voice is very distinctly different now. She put in a lot of work for this performance, didn't she? Please, hold your hand over mine. Her hands are perfectly still hovering over the crystal ball. You mean like this? Russell carefully moves his hand so it's right above the fortune teller's. Now, think about your deepest desire. Is this the part where you shank me? She doesn't respond to this little joke. Instead, she gurgles out another long croaking noise. I look over at Chris, who seems thoroughly entranced by what he sees. Okay then. Russell seems to finally let go, closing his eyes and letting the fortune teller do her thing. My deepest desire, huh? I'd rather not have you prodding into my sex life, just saying. I raise an eyebrow at how long the croaking noise has persisted. Shouldn't she be taking a breath soon? You. I'm startled slightly when she instantly moves her head and faces Russell. Seeker of truth. The answer you want are not there. What? Russell opens one of his eyes to look at the fortune teller. The girl. She was taken by the Night Watchers. The fuck you going on about? She twists her head up to the side, this time to look at Chris. Your turn. Come. Hold on, you owe me an explanation for that. She begins making the croaking noise again. I don't know if I should do this. I nudge Chris along. Just humor her. It's pretty good. Whatever. Russell finally gets up from the seat to let Chris in. Your hands. She once again staring at the sky with her hands. Starts staring at. She once again staring at the sky with her hands hovering over the crystal ball. Like this? Chris imitates what Russell did. Chris imitates what Russell did earlier, holding one hand over hers. You. Who are you really? I'm Des. I'm Chris Davenport, a computer science student at USL. I see. Everything. She snaps her head back down and faces Chris. The Gemini. You have the capacity for great evil. Huh? At this point, I'm thoroughly entranced by the performance. I lean in closer so I get a good look at everything that's happening. But also, the capacity for great good. She turns her head to the side with a vaguely threatening grin. Which side shall you choose, I wonder? I wonder. I do not understand. What a crock of shit. Russell whispers to himself under his breath. Oops. You. Now she's looking directly at me. I feel a cold chill run down my spine. Those white eyes are really convincing. Without saying a word, Chris gets up from the seat and allows me to take his place. The woman once again makes the croaking noise while looking up at the sky. Your hands. Right, yeah. I do the same thing the others did, holding my hand over hers. For some reason, she's taking a lot longer than she did with them. She screams twice, then looks down at me. Young man! Her eyes have suddenly returned to normal. Her eyes have suddenly returned to normal. What? I have never seen an aura such as yours. Shadowed by the Reaper itself. Death. Death! There is nothing but pain and suffering in your future. I stare at her dumbfounded. Tears are streaming down her cheeks. Alright, that's enough of this shit. What? I'm caught off guard when Russell lifts me back onto my feet. Thank you for your time, miss, but that's enough. We'll be leaving now. I'm still in a daze after what I heard. The woman stares at me with such pain and sorrow in her expression. Russell pulls me along with the path and away with the fortune teller. Sorry. From the corner of my eye, I see Chris pull out his wallet and place some money on her table. You alright, kid? Yeah, I think so. Don't listen to her. It's a fucking whack job. Phew, that was something, wasn't it? I think it's time for us to leave. You've got to pick up your part from the shop, right? That's true. I almost forgot. We're out here for your sake, you know. Yeah. Let's head back to the car. We make the trek back in silence. Once we're in the car, Russell turns on the radio, and eventually the mood returns to the way it was. It was just a fortune. It's a performance. I shouldn't read into it too much. She did a very good job putting us on edge, though. Oh well. Better to put it out of my mind now that's over. Takes about half an hour before we're in range of the computer shop. God damn it! Just as I expected. What's that? There's no parking. Oh, that's no problem. Huh? It shouldn't take too long. Just pull over and let me out. Circle around the back block a couple of times, and I'll be in a flash. Be done in a flash. If you say so. Russell pulls up close to the shop, then lets Chris get out of the car. He looks back and gives the line a thumbs up before rushing into the store. What a dumbass. It's better than having to massacre a family of 5 for a slot. That's true. After about 3 rotations around the block, we pick up Chris with his giant package in tow. That's a lot bigger than I thought it would be. I wonder what it is. Graphics card, maybe? We get about 3 blocks away from the shop before Russell speaks up again. Say, we've still got some time before sunset. Do you guys want to see something special? I don't know. Does it involve parking? Technically, but it won't be an issue this time. Trust me. We shouldn't leave my box in the car for too long. Nobody's gonna break into the car where we're going. Well, if that's the case, then let's do it. Yeah, might as well fill out the rest of the day with things. Right on. A few more blocks later, Russell pulls into a fancy parking garage. Didn't quite catch the name of the building. The sign was too high up. Russell drives up a couple of floors and parks in what seems to be a private slot. Before long, we're all getting out of the car. I'm going to show you my dad's penthouse suite. Oh, is this the place where you were talking about? Yeah, it's got a crazy cool view of the city from up there. Sweet. Russell leads us to an elevator, then hits the button for the top floor. Oh, man, I wonder what it is his dad does. I stand in awe at the sight. The city skyline in all its majesty sprawls out before me on the balcony. Wow. Impressive, isn't it? Chris wanders around, snapping pictures from all sorts of angles with his phone. I can honestly say I've never seen anything like this. Perks of having a rich senpai. Say, gotta go to the bathroom. Been holding in this dump all day. Ew. I roll my eyes. You two have fun. I'll be right back. Russell disappears behind a sliding glass door. Taking a deep breath. The air feels different all the way up here. I can't wait to see how those pictures turned out. Thinking about getting back into photography? I might, yeah. Anyway, did you have fun today? Yeah, I did. Also, remember what I said about being my friend and not my mentor? Oh, that's right. We're not on campus, so as far as I'm concerned, there's none of that mentor-mentee crap hanging over us. Fair enough. Two of us lean against the railing and stare out the vista. How are you and Shay doing? We're doing fine. Just fine. Was that the wrong thing to say? I don't know, you tell me. Gosh, I don't know. I let out a soft chuckle at his expense. So things aren't going well then. No, they're going fine. It's just, I don't know. We don't really talk about things besides school. Oh, really? To be honest, I barely know anything about her. Wow. Okay. How mysterious. Totally seems like the kind of girl she is, though. I guess she mentioned her brother? But it's only been bits and pieces here and there. She has a brother? Yeah, and pretty close by too. His name is Julian, and he's studying film at UC Berkeley. Where's that? Oh, sorry. I figured you would might have known. Berkeley is a city right over there. He points a finger to an area on the other side of the bay. I see. He is a couple years older than her. Apparently, she was supposed to go to UC Berkeley as well, but got a last-minute acceptance letter from USL. I guess the program we had on offer was more to her taste. I mean, USL is one of the top schools in the country. So is Berkeley. The sliding door opens behind us. I'm back. Glad to see you two didn't fall over the edge yet. Has that happened before? Oh, all the time. I tried to convince my dad to get a net, but he wasn't having any of it. You're making fun of me, aren't you? What was your first clue? Three of us hang at the Penthouse for a few hours, just chilling and watching movies. Eventually, it's time to head back to USL. I'm sure Zach's made it back from LA by now, too. This was definitely a nice way to get my mind off of Bryan for a while. Although, now that I've got that fortune teller's words on my mind, I'm sure it's nothing. No reason to get worked up over it. And that's pretty much where we left off. I stare at Karina in a second too long, not sure whether to be surprised or exhausted by her story. So, are you guys still together then? She shakes her head, a pout foaming on her face. Of course. I mean, maybe. I hope so, at least. Her love life is quite the complicated labyrinth to navigate. I grab a slice of pizza, waiting for her to continue, but she doesn't. And about that Daniel. He says Dan, that is what family calls him or something. She makes air quotes with her fingers as she rolls her eyes. Right, Daniel, sorry. Yeesh. Wonder how he'd react if I called him Danny then. Anyway, how long have you known this guy? I punctuate my question by taking a bite out of the slice, taking out of the slice in my hand, taking a bite out of the slice in my hand. The pizza they serve at the UC is surprisingly good. Too bad it isn't. Too bad it's always cold by the time it hits our plates. Hmm. She takes a moment to reflect. We met not long after Malcolm and I broke up. The way I remember the story, it was more like he dumped her. So it's been a little more than a week, and you're already arguing this bad? She stabs her salad with a fork. He's just a little pig-headed, I guess. Maybe it's better to let this one go? Who gives up on a relationship after one argument? For all I know, we're soulmates and we just need some time settling in. I'd love to point out Daniel's the third soulmate she's had since starting college. But I don't want to hurt her feelings. Honestly, I'm starting to believe she's just into sex, but hides it behind this whole destiny thing. So is he a good lay at least? Her eyes widen at my question. But, Pen, what's gotten into you? Take a sip of my soda. Just asking. We're all adults here. Sex happens. Besides, seem to remember you asking me if I were a top or a bottom when I came out to you. She hides her head to the side, hiding a blush. Point taken. It's just not what I expected from you. I shrug and put down my cup. I guess I'm full of surprises, huh? I switch it up, by the way. Huh? I don't mind being either, though I do like being on bottom more. Verse bottom. Uh-oh. That's good to know. Is it wrong to say that's what I expected? Ouch. Sorry, that was rude. You're fine, don't worry. I'm just messing with you. To be honest, I'm only guessing as to if I'd like topping. I feel like I would, but I haven't actually tried it yet. So far, I've only been a bottom since I've been to USL. Hell. I adjust myself in my seat a bit. I'm still pretty sore from the guy I just saw. There's a bit of awkwardness in the air now. Maybe this was a bit too much, but whatever. It's not like we haven't talked about way worse. We haven't talked about way worse before. So what? Have you guys done it yet? She crosses her arms with an annoyed look on her face. No, we haven't. Really? They haven't been together that long, but still. Maybe I judged her a bit too harshly there. Figured maybe he was the, pump and dump kind, from the way you described him. He's not that way, no. That was more Ahmed's thing. We did it once, and then he left. She shrugs, letting out a heavy sigh. I don't know why all these guys keep dumping me, Ben. This sucks. She stabs a leaf of salad and brings it up to her mouth. Maybe you're trying to move things too fast? Most guys are probably just looking for something casual. Nothing serious, you know? So the moment they get what they want, I mimic a particular motion with my hand. They're out the door. She nods along, eyes still fixated on her food. Yeah, maybe. I thought there'd be some guys wanting something, I don't know, something more than skin deep. But even Daniel gets mad when I mention sharing a room together someday. Well, before I'm able to form a coherent sentence, I notice the guy sitting behind Karina. He's a skinny lizard with a thick tail, and I watch as he gets up from his seat and walks away. Swish, swish. His tail sways left to right, accentuating his curvature quite nicely. Damn. Really hate to see you go, but I love watching you leave. Karina squints her eyes at me, looking back and forth between him and I. Do you know him? Sorry, I don't. Yeesh, really got me distracted there. Uh-huh, sure. Is he your type? A smile forms on her face. At least it lightened her mood up a bit. He's a cute guy. Like, really cute. Especially back there, if you know what I mean. She chuckles. Now you're starting to sound like Bryan. The comment goes in one ear and out the other. I don't really have a type in any case. Chubby, skinny, muscle-bound. The specifics don't matter. It's more about whether or not I'm attracted to them. She takes one sip from her glass, an eyebrow raised at me. I see. Well, hats off to you for not being a discriminatory douchebag. Though I swear Bryan's told me the same thing before too. I'm getting pretty annoyed at these comparisons. It's not like I wasn't this way before we met. I'm just more proactive about it these days, that's all. By the way, I almost forgot. Bryan and I talked earlier today. Yeah, what about it? He was wondering why you're avoiding him. I roll my eyes. You sure you should be coming to me with that question? It's not like a secret if you're avoiding him, right? Classic Karina. Guess not. I'm not trying to avoid him, there's just no reason for us to hang out now. At least that's the way that makes sense in my head. Karina cocks her head to the right. What's that supposed to mean? Did something happen? I rub the corners of my eyes. Should I tell her? Look, it's nothing that serious. Him and I just had a little fling. It was fun, but it ultimately didn't work out. She almost spits out her salad when she hears the word fling. Fling? You and him? I cross my arms, not sure whether to feel insulted. Yes, that's correct. She seems at a loss for a moment. But the moment quickly passes as a torrent of questions pour out of her mouth. How long were you guys doing it? How'd you start? Is he good? Did he... Oh, hey. Whoa. Hey. One at a time. You and Bryan, huh? What's so odd about that? She purses her lips. I guess it's just the difference in everything. Thought Bryan would be more into dudes his size, you know? Other jocks, I mean. I wipe my fingers off on a tissue before replying. I can see why you'd think that. Believe it or not, though, he's the one who initiated it, not me. If you want to know what he saw in me, you'll have to ask him. As for how long it lasted, it was about a month, I think. She rubs her forehead. Here I am unable to hold a man down for more than 2 weeks. Hey, don't say that. It's not like Bryan and I were dating. Like I said earlier, most guys just want casual stuff. Her face contorts at my words. I didn't realize you were that way too. I'm a guy. I like sex. What else is there to say? I'm a bit more aggressive than I mean to be. Almost as if I'm trying to force her to believe me. So, what happened? Bryan's such a chill guy. It's hard to think he'd mess up something like that. Look, it just didn't work out, okay? Wait a minute. She opens her mouth in surprise. Is he actually bad in bed? That's quite the twist. I shake my head. No, nothing like that. If anything, I'd say he's too good. You're the first person I've ever heard complain that sex is too good. I don't know how to phrase it then. It didn't work out. End of story. I'd tell you more if I could, but it's hard to put into words. In any case, it's over now. She stares at me with an expression I can't figure out. I can't quite figure out. Does he know? What? Does he even know it's over? Is that why he asked me if you were avoiding him? I'm about to retort, but I can't get the words out. I stare off to the side past the vacant seat where the lizard was, and into the dark abyss behind the windows. There's only one thing I can think to say. He'll be fine. Don't worry. Karina doesn't seem to like my answer, judging by her expression. If you say so, just talk to me if you need to, okay? I think I have some experience with how this feels. The look of concern on her face brings a smile to me. Thanks, but I'll be alright. It wasn't serious. It wasn't a serious thing between us, like I already said. She nods. Dinner quietly ends, and we both go our separate ways for the night. I wave goodbye to Karina as she heads back to the dorms. She's still got that anxious look on her face for some reason. I'm not sure what to do now. Going back to my room would just mean homework. My phone is completely devoid of notifications, too. Nothing catches my eye on any of these websites I usually browse. Eventually, I find myself standing in front of the frat house. Guess my feet knew exactly what I needed tonight. A couple of guys are already having a lively conversation on the front porch. It wouldn't hurt to spend some time with the brothers. Doesn't take me long to stumble upon Kane. Or Kane. I found out it's actually pronounced Kane, but I'm just gonna say Kane until he corrects and actually I'm just gonna say Kane. The cheery wolf leads me to one of the side rooms, which manages to break out of my daze. Ever since the day we played games together, him and I have been hanging out more and more. Despite my hectic trial by fire introduction to that fighting game, I've been enjoying it quite a bit. We've since turned our attention to other games in the fighting genre. I'm still nowhere near as good near his level, but it's certainly a way to pass the time. Okay, so when you see this kind of grab move come out, you have to press the same buttons as I did to deflect it. Sure, I think I get it. I turn my attention back to the screen where my character proceeds to get his arm seemingly broken in half before getting KO'd. Or maybe I don't. The timing's tight, but you'll get the hang of it. How do I even know which buttons you pressed anyway? If you pay attention, the first few frames of each throw are unique, so once you learn how to recognize them, you can respond accordingly. I see. I don't see it at all. What's a frame in this context? Not wanting to look completely incompetent in front of him, I abstain from asking further. See? Look! I'll tell you what I'm pressing, so you know what to do. His character performs a series of intricate animations, all ending with my character flat on his ass. Got it? I think I can do this. The lingo escapes me, but the concepts are surprisingly intuitive once they register. Alrighty. Let's move on to another match. As the countdown begins, the door to the room is pushed open. Three guys make their way inside, heading for the counter on the other side of the room. Two of them I don't recognize, but the third. The trio is having a hearty debate on a topic unknown to me. The panda and I lock eyes, which makes his eyebrows raise in surprise. There's a tension that hangs in the air as the both of us ponder whether to acknowledge each other's presence. Round started, Ben. I swivel around to face the TV. Sorry, I got distracted. Like usual, Kane doesn't start his assault until he knows I've gotten my bearings. Once the first blow lands, the match begins for real. Surprising even me, I managed to steer and maneuver my character around with enough competency to pressure Kane into a corner, or Kane into a corner. His character barely has time to get back up as mine wails on him with gusto. With a sharp cry, she falls to the ground defeated. Wow, good job, man. Didn't even see that coming. He always takes everything so well. It's impressive. I know I'd be the very least. I'd be at the very least aggravated by getting cornered like that. Round 2 starts much the same way, but my focus soon broken by the sound of Brian's voice. No fucking way it'd fit. I told him. I bet. Same thing happened to me. They never learn, do they? What the hell are they talking about? Why are they being so loud? Whatever, it's not like this is a private room or anything. Just have to ignore them. I've been doing it so far. Shouldn't be hard to just turn a deaf ear, right? My attention is drawn back to the game when I noticed half my health bar is missing. I made some dumb mistakes, and Kane made sure I'd pay for them. Inputting some tougher combos I've been learning, I try to reverse the odds in my favor. Instead, my dude wiggles and gesticulates like a man possessed. Shit. I get a swift kick to the face for my overconfidence. Behind us, the three stooges erupt in earth-shattering laughter. Can't they pipe down? What could be that funny anyway? Oh, what was that? So we ended up at the foot of the bed, on top of... Man, I'm sorry. My eavesdropping is interrupted by the TV shouting KO at me. Were you trying something out? Yeah, I've been learning some moves, but they're hard to pull off. And it's hard to hear myself think when with the cackling hyenas behind us laughing up a storm. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. Just stick to the fundamentals for now. You can jump into tech and all that once you've mastered the basics. That's probably for the best. Kane's patience is downright saintly. He doesn't even begin to acknowledge how obnoxious the others are being right now. If I were to wager a guess, I'd even say Brian's doing it on purpose. Being loud and drawing attention to himself is totally his style. Kind of a dick move, dude. But most likely they don't realize how loud they are. The last round starts with me at a disadvantage. My grapple attempt fails miserably, and I end up at the mercy of one of Kane's ruthless combos. I'm already half dead only 15 seconds in. His character steps over my body. Isn't she wearing heels? Ugh, that's gonna hurt. It's just the way cats are, man. Are they talking about me? Or no, maybe I misheard. Kind of pissed if they're talking about me behind my back, though. Not just figuratively. They're literally behind my back. If you got something to say to me, Bryan, just say it! The woman on screen grabs my character by the leg, which is a move I recognize. I quickly press the buttons Kane taught me earlier, which counters the throw with with one of my own. Following up on that advantage, I pummel her into the ground and drag her back into an overhead attack. Focusing all my anger on the buttons I'm mashing, I unleash a series of punches that carry her across the screen. With one last devastating high kick, I finish the match with a KO. Dang! Kane looks at me with his eyes wide. That was... wow. That was awesome. He gives me a tap on the shoulder. You're getting really good at this game. Guess I've got a good teacher. I wink at him and he turns away. I'm just passing on what I know. I'm nowhere near pro level or anything. But I'm glad you're having fun. Do you want to... Kane is interrupted by shouts and jeers coming from the back of the room. God, they're annoying. Too annoying. I don't even care if they're talking about me. Most likely not, but still. Just... I don't know. I don't think I want to be here right now. They killed the mood for me. I put down my controller. Actually, it's getting kind of late. I should head back to my room. Kane's ears droop a little. Oh, okay. We can continue this next time, don't worry. Sure thing. I get up from my seat, making sure to avoid looking in the direction of the group. As I grab my bag, Kane stands. Wait, it's past curfew. I shrug. I'll be fine. He taps his foot on the ground. Maybe I think it'd be better if I went with you. Mind if I walk you back? Sure, whatever. He turns off the console and steps over the table, joining me on the way out of the room. I feel something burning into the back of my neck as I leave. Kane and I walk across the bridge on our way back to the dorms. Ever since the curfew was insinuated, I've seen less and less people out at night. At first, not everyone was respecting it, but lately it seems like everyone's gotten used to it. With campus security in full force, I think there's no safer place in Santa Lucia than USL, to be honest. I hope Carlos is doing okay. Wonder if they'd let a freshman keep that public safety position after all that's happened. They probably moved him to a better time slot earlier in the day, I hope. We took another turn down a well-lit road. Kane's got his hands in his pockets, looking down at his feet. He's usually a lot more talkative. Maybe he's enjoying some time in silence away from the frat. I pull out my phone absent-mindedly. Nope, still nothing. Been using that hookup app a lot more since last week's fiasco. Somehow, I've managed to get a few guys interested in me. Even met a couple. It's fun, but somehow it just makes me feel like there's something missing. It's not like I need to be with a different guy every day. What's the harm in it? Might have gone a bit overboard, but it's not like I have any idea what the average is or anything. Bryan wasn't super open about who he was besides me. Who was seeing besides me. though it seems like it was quite a bit. So, Kane breaks the silence that had settled between us. Have you... I mean... He scratches the back of his ear. How have you been doing? I'm taken aback by the sudden question. Uh, doing alright, I think? He nods his head. Good, good. You just looked a little... I don't know... sad? I don't want to be pushy, but if there's something on your mind, I'm here for you. I'm not sure this is the topic I want to discuss with Kane. It doesn't seem to be his area of expertise, and it's not like I know him well enough yet. Thanks. Just, stuff. I'll be fine. He smiles. Okay. Guess I was a little worried is all. You and Bryan seem pretty tight, but I haven't seen you guys hang out for a bit at the frat. I hope it's not because of me or anything. No, why would it be your fault? He shrugs. I don't know, it's just how my brain works or something. Maybe I got the wrong idea, or he thinks I don't like him. I think you're in the clear. I turn my head to the dark sky above. I just think we need some time to think stuff over. He's a really great guy, but... But what? I'm a side piece, and I'm not happy about it? I'm not special enough to be the main thing he's got going? It's been how long since we last said something to each other? Yet I can't put a finger on what's been bothering me. I'm angry at myself for being so predictable. And I'm angry that he knew this would happen and he didn't tell me. Most of all, though, I miss what we had, and I don't know if things are ever going to be the same. All this is too complicated. Too much to drop on Kane's plate. We've basically been pursuing different interests lately. The wolf stares at me, listening with deep intent. He looks like he wanted to say something. Wants to say something. Nothing seems to come out, though. Getting close to the dorms now. He stops in his tracks. Do you... He catches himself again and stands there in silence. After a few seconds, he seems to gather his courage and speaks up. Do you remember what we were talking about earlier this month? Well, that's pretty vague. Could you be more precise? By this point, I've hung out with Kane quite a few times. Right, sorry. He takes a deep breath. You mentioned your sexuality earlier. My sexuality? What about it? Well, there's something I wanted to tell you back then, but I didn't get the chance to do it. If you don't, if I don't do it now, I'm not sure if I'll ever get the courage to do so. Okay. The thing is, the way you feel about guys, I'm that way too. My eyes wide open, open wide. Oh, I, I'm into guys like you, Ben. Is this a confession? What the hell did this come from? I, don't know what to say. He flinches at my poor choice of words. Thank you, I think, for trusting me with that. And the other thing. Damn it. He said what he wanted to say on that day. I've been over the moon right now. There's a part of me that wants to feel that way. But all I feel is... You're a really nice guy, Kane. I'm happy you told me, really. This aching numbness. I can see his tail wagging behind him. You're the first person I've ever told that you like guys. He gets a bit bashful in response. Both things. Oh, okay. Oh crap. I'm the first he's ever come out to, and the first he's ever confessed his feelings for. You haven't even told your roommate? Thomas is cool, but he wouldn't really understand. I know the type. Bit too straight, huh? I see, yeah. His ears perked up. Well, would you like to, you know, go out with me? Tomorrow, just the two of us. He stammers over himself, talking too fast like he's chewing on his own words. As genuine of a mask as I can muster, I smile. Yeah, sure, I'd love to. It's not like I'm lying. I do feel this way. Just hasn't hit me yet, I guess. Kane, on the other hand, seems to barely be able to contain his excitement. He's positively brimming with energy. Sweet. I actually know the perfect place we can go. Not that I was expecting you to say yes, or that I was thinking about it before I asked you either. Anything's good for me, no worries. Yeah? That's good. Have you ever been to Saint Street Cafe? I nod. I have, actually. The place is great. I love going there. He adjusts his glasses, hiding a smile. Nice. Want to meet up there around 6 p.m.? Sounds good to me. Okay, great. We stand there for a few moments, looking at each other expectantly. I never thought I'd make it this far. Do we, hug each other? Just to say goodbye. I mean, I don't see why not. Alright. He saunters over to me and puts an arm around my shoulder. I try to reciprocate, but the embrace is more awkward than either of us expected. He withdraws with a chuckle, leaving behind a faint scent of citrus. Well, I'll see you tomorrow then. You're gonna be okay on your way back? Well, a tempting idea, inviting him up to my room wouldn't really work since Zach's there. Yeah, don't worry about me. I'll jog all the way back. I'll be home in no time. Alright. You take care. Good night. Night. The wolf walks back down the path a bit before bursting into a sprint. Yeah, hate to see him leave, but love to watch them go. I swipe my card to open the door. He is definitely excited. More ways than one. If what I felt, if what I felt poked me in the side is any indication of the real thing, well, guess I'll have to find out sooner or later. Hopefully sooner. Alright, and that's where we're gonna leave off. Alright. That was a pretty nice episode. It was kind of a chill episode. Nothing crazy happened, but it was just nice to spend time with Russell and Chris. Had a few nice moments with them, and of course, spending time with Kane, which I found out later is how you pronounce it. Kept saying Kane, but then I found out it was Kane. I don't know if he actually corrected Ben yet or not, but that's what I found out. So that's pretty cool. And I like the budding relationship. Honestly, he warmed up to me a lot, and he's really cute. God damn it. But I do hope that Ben's able to sort his feelings out with Bryan as well. And I do wish the best for Karina. It seems like she's kind of going through, I don't know. She's hopping onto relationships too quickly and not really seeing, the issues that emerge almost instantly. And it's hard to watch because, again, this visual novel is way too relatable. Fuck. But anywho, we'll be continuing October 19th next time. And until then, I'll see you all later. Bye.